Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, that's right, Blue Eyes White Dragon. We're summoning Blue Eyes White Dragon. So here is the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck that I have put together with the help of the new structure deck. If you haven't noticed, there is a brand new structure deck as well as the new bundle, which gives us access to not only the best card artwork in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is not up for debate, this is just a fact, as well as all of the Blue Eyes cards just readily available for you. Okay, not actually all of them. Some of them aren't actually in the structure. Most notably, what is it? The Bingo Machine as well as Spirit Dragon. Neither of those are in the structure, but that's kind of it. Everything else is pretty much available. So if you buy 3, you basically get everything that you need. So yeah, Alternative is in there. Jet Dragon is in there. I think most of the other stuff is also in there. So yeah, there you go. But here is the list that I threw together. I tried to make a deck list that was Dragon Link, or more specifically, Blue Eyes, but like good. So kind of Dragon Link-esque in nature, where it's utilizing things like Ringo Worm and the other tuners in order to go into powerful synchro monsters, while also utilizing the fact that you can get out multiple of these big monsters to potentially go into rank 8s or what have you. So yeah, let's just quickly go through the card by card and the explanation. Starting off with 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Yes, we're only playing 2 because we're playing a myriad of ways to get them into the graveyard or into our hands, utilizing 3 Melody of the Awakening Dragon, as well as even the White Stone of Legend and the triple White Stone of Ancients. Now, even with this being said, the deck's still gonna break. It's still inconsistent. It just happens. We're also only playing 2 Alternative and 2 Jet for similar reasons. Just, I want to be able to play the game, so we're gonna cut down on some of the breaks. Next up, we are also playing 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue in order to search out our White Stone of Ancients. It's also able to go into like a Link Karibo if need be, and it's just a level 1 tuner, which is pretty nice as well. We're also playing the 1 White Stone of Legend and then the 3 Ancients. There you go. We're also then playing 2 Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragons, which is very nice because it sends a normal monster to the graveyard in order to special summon itself. And, notably, it also makes itself a 7, which is fantastic in this list in particular, because that allows you to put either a level 1 onto the field to go into an 8, or you can also normal summon Ash in order to go into a level 10, which is also pretty nice. Now, notably, if you are going to go into the Excel Synchron, you need to have some level 2 into the grave that you can actually utilize. So do keep that in mind as well. We're also playing 2 Ringo Worm. Honestly, I could play 3 of this. It's fantastic. It's a level 2 tuner with level 8s. It means that you have easier access into level 10s, and there are a lot of really good level 10s. So there's that. On top of that, with another level 8, you can just make 2 level 10s because, hey, you can go Ringo Worm, normal summon, sync off for 10, then bring back a token that can be used as a tuner to go for another 10, which is really nice. So there's that. As far as the rest of the cards, it's basically just hand traps and staples, basically. So we're playing 2 Gamma as well as the 1 Driver because it's pretty nice just to be able to go into an Excel Synchro or just utilize it as a hand trap. It's pretty nice. So there's that. We're playing the 3 Maxi, the 3 Ash Blossom, and the 2 Called By, the standard starting 8 cards for every single deck. We're also playing 2 2 Bestials with Magnamut and Druis Worm, because they pair very well with Ringo Worm, being able to go into the Excel Synchro as well, and they're kind of hand traps right now, so that's pretty nice. We're also running the 1 Chaos Dragon Levianeer to search off of the Melody of the Awakening Dragon. You can also utilize its effect to reborn a monster by banishing 3 lights, meaning that you can bring back something like a Ringo Worm, or a Gamma, or even if you need to, something like a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is pretty nice. And then we have a 1 Dragon Spirit of White to deal with back row, if need be, off of the White Stone of Ancients, which is pretty nice. And then we are also playing 1 for 1 to summon out the level 1s. We are also playing 3 Cards of Consonance so that we can also draw cards off of the tuners. This also includes Ringo Worm, because notably it has 1,000 or less attack, so you can send it to the graveyard in order to draw 2, which is pretty nice. So there's that. That's also why we're playing Ringo Worm. And then we're playing 1 True Light because it's funny. I've never actually used it, but it's funny, so we're playing it. As for the extra deck, I don't know if it's quite perfect. In fact, I'd probably cut the Twin Burst in order to play another 8, like Borreload Savage or something like that. But it's all right. I definitely think more Synchros and Links would probably be better, but Then we're playing the 1 Excel Stardust Synchro to go into things like Baron or Bestial Dispotter. We're playing the Trishula as a 9, just as an additional option in case we have, in case we want to go into that off of a Red Eyes Black Meteor and a Ringo Worm. This means that because this one modulates its level to level 7, it means that if you normal summon a Ringo Worm with this guy, you can't go into an 8. So instead you go into the Trishula, and then the Ringo Worm can bring out a token, and then you can make Pep. So that's why Psychic End Punisher and Trishula are in here. They're just kind of like the best generic monsters to go into for that specific combo. Again, these could be cut for additional 8s or Link monsters or something like that. We're playing 1 Azure Eyes and Spirit Dragon. Never summoned them, but they're there. We have the 1 Baron, the 1 Shanging, and the 1 Bestial Dispotter, and that's it for the Synchros. Moving on to the rank 8s, we are playing 2, just the Hope Harbinger and the Dean Gearsu. These just happen to be the best ones in terms of protection, while also having a beneficial effect. So there you go. And then 1 Zeus. Pretty self-explanatory there. And then for the Link monsters, we're playing 1 Link Karibo, 1 Striker Dragon, and 1 Hyratic Seal. Honestly, this should probably just be Anima again. But there you go. That's it for the list. Let's hop into the replays and show you how this deck performed. Alright, here we are going first, and I'm gonna not lie to you, this game is a comedy of errors. So my opponent actively chose for me to go first. They won the coin flip, they chose for me to go first. I didn't really have any play. Like, I literally have no plays. I could have, like, normal summoned Ringo Worm, linked it off for Striker Dragon, and then special summoned the Bestial Druis Worm and made Seals. That's an option. I didn't really like that option, so I was just like, okay, I have Gamma, I have Druis Worm, I'll just pass. Like, that's fine. And then they also passed on nothing, so I was like, okay. Like, if I discard for hand size, which my opponent does, and they discard a triple attack, I was like, if I discard for hand size, I can actually have Druis Worm be live, and then normal summon the Ringo Worm if I need to. And then I draw Maxi, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I could do this all day now. So, yeah, I obviously discarded the alternative. We draw into Ash. I'm like, that's great. I'm going to discard another one. Gives me even more options. My opponent goes to the end phase, and that's 3 spells. I wonder what deck they're playing. It's Sky Striker. They were playing Sky Striker. A really bad list. It's like 48 cards. It's very silly. Anyway, I go for the Druis Worm here. They activate the Maxi, and I'm like, fantastic. I get to punish them for being greedy, and out comes Gamma. This is also one of the reasons I'm playing Gamma. It's just so very good, specifically in situations like this. So, yeah, that's why I'm playing the Gamma. So out comes the Druis Worm here. We're obviously going to Synchro off into the Excel Synchro Stardust. So we're going to activate that effect. They have Ghost Spell. Nothing I could do about that. But luckily, I haven't used my normal. So we can actually normal summon out the Ringo Worm. And I know this doesn't look like Blue Eyes, but hey, what are you going to do? So we're going to make the Baron here. We're then going to banish the 3 for the Levianeer. Levianeer is going to activate its effect, to which my opponent will Effect Veiler. Yeah, they had 3 hand traps as well. Obviously, they were going to have something, but alas. That negates the Levianeer, and then my opponent just realizes that the game is over because I go for the Ringo Worm here to get an additional monster, and I go for the Synchro Summon. I don't even get to put the monster on the field before they just concede. And, yeah, good game. Blue Eyes! Alright, now while that game wasn't too Blue Eyes-centric, this one's a little bit more. Now, obviously I still have the Maxi, but I can't really do a whole lot here, so again, it's just set and pass. The classic Blue Eyes staple. So my opponent is going to go for the Speedroid Terratop. I'm going to fire off the Maxi. It resolves. Just kidding. I lied. Except I have Called By, so, you know, it does resolve. So they're playing Terratop. They actually, again, my opponent chose for me to go first. So do keep that in mind when you see the rest of what happens, okay? So the Maxi resolves, happens. They're going to grab the Talcatan board. They're going to then normal summon Falco. Okay, I don't know why we're going second with Salamangreat, but I guess we are, sure. I draw Sage, which is fantastic here, so we're going to activate the Sage effect, to which my opponent will activate Maxi. Of course, I figured they had this. It just makes sense, right? Anyway, but that's fine. We are going to add the Whitestone of Ancients, and then we're going to go for the Card of Consonance to draw 2, and those are actually 2 pretty good draws. We're going to activate the Card of Consonance, or the Melody, in order to send Jet Dragon and grab up the Blue Eyes alternative, as well as Levianeer. Now here we get to special summon out the boy! Oh, he looks so good. So yeah, out comes Blue Eyes White Dragon, and with Jet Dragon in grave, it's feeling pretty good. I'm gonna fire my own Maxi, because Maxi is a fair and balanced Yu-Gi-Oh card, and then my opponent's going to Droll me, and I'm like, oh no. So, obviously, Salamangreat doesn't really care too much about Droll, so they can pretty much play as if nothing happened. But I did draw Gamma, which is very funny, and with the Jet Dragon in grave, I'm feeling pretty comfortable, and I'm not really too worried about what they could potentially do, because, like, Access Code is now offline because of the Mirage Stalio. They're going to go for the Sunlight Wolf here, and I'm like, I don't think there's a way that they can get 6,800 damage on board to punch over the Sage to just OTK. So if Sage dies, I get Jet Dragon, which just, like, protects me. They're going to go for the Promethean Princess, obviously. Since they are Firelocked, they're going to special summon back the Sunlight Wolf. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then they go into Pyro Phoenix. We're playing Pyro Phoenix. Very interesting. Anyway, this allows them to reset with the Falco, the counter trap that they sent off of the Gazelle. Gazelle is now in hand as well. They also just normal summon the Terratop, or special. I don't know how this got in the field, but it's here. They're going to walk over the Blue Eyes, and I'm like, cool! Anyway, Jet Dragon. So I special summon out the Jet Dragon, and I'm like, yeah, this is fine. Like, obviously they're not going to be able to kill me here. They're going to deal 2k. And then they make Zeus. Okay. Zeus is here. He's not going to do much, but, you know, he's here. They're going to go for the Amblo Whale. They linked off their only link monster, so now the counter trap is just offline. So, no more Salamangreats. Okay. I'm going to banish my own monster to go for the Druisworm, to which my opponent will then pop my, what is it? Jet Dragon, right. And the Amblo Whale. Amblo Whale is going to special summon out to the Link monster, and I'm like, oh, okay. Sure, that's fine. I'm still not really too concerned. Yeah. So I'm going to go for the Ancients here to grab up the Blue Eyes. Since we have the alternative, we're going to special summon out to that guy, and it doesn't start a chain. And then my opponent decides to... I don't know. Yeah? Out comes Gazelle. This is where things get really funny. I get to activate Gamma now, because they got rid of my field. So now, not only do I get to get rid of their field, I just get massive advantage, right? So I go for the Gamma. Away goes their monster because they sent it to the graveyard with the Zeus, and then Druisworm sends the Zeus, and now we go for the Excel. Excel, activate its effect. We're going to special summon back the Gamma. We're then going to go into, I believe, Dispotter here. Yeah, we go for the Dispotter since we have a few things banished. We're going to special summon back our level 1, and then we are going to go for the 1-for-1 to pitch the Blue Eyes, and then summon out the other White Stone. Here we can go and banish 3 for the Levianeer to bring back the Blue Eyes. So now we have the Blue Eyes. I put it in defense because it's funny, and then my opponent just concedes. Yeah. Good game. Levianeer only special summons in defense. I don't know why I acted like I had a choice there. Good game. Alright, here we are going second, and this time, my opponent actually chose to go first, obviously. So, here we go. They're going to start off with Puri Rise map, which is very interesting. I drew Maxi Gamma again, but I don't know how good Maxi is here. Anyway, my opponent activates the effect of their Dark Beckoning Beast. It's Royal. How interesting. Anyway, I'm going to Gamma that and just not deal with that. That seems like the best option, since I don't really have any other plays. Hopefully I draw something good. It was not. I'm going to normal summon the same. Just kidding. It gets Solemn Warning. My opponent is on 2,000 life points. Keep that in mind. Interesting Solemn choice, but okay, sure. They're going to go for a second Piri Rai map. Or Piri Rice map. They're going to grab the Dark Beckoning Beast. Dark Beckoning Beast is going to add to their hand another Dark Summoning Beast. The Dark Summoning Beast is then going to be Tribute Summoned in order to special summon the guy, and then they're going to Tribute it to special summon. Not Tribute to... Anyway. I go for the Maxi here, and my opponent is going to special summon out the Ravael. I believe it special summons in defense, if I'm not mistaken... Special summon from a hand. Oh, nope. They could have specialed it in attack and attacked. They just chose not to. I don't know why. But to be fair, because I drew literally the best card I probably could have drawn with the Blue Eyes White Dragon right there, or the alternative there, kind of didn't matter. So I'm just going to pop this guy after sending the Blue Eyes to the graveyard, and now Jet Dragon is going to trigger, and yeah, we're pretty much off to the races. Out comes the Jet Dragon. My opponent is going to flip up Gozen Match. Sure. Anyway, attack for lethal. I'm actually going to bounce it back to the hand because Jet Dragon is a cool and balanced card. So yeah, good game. That was funny. To be fair, I could have tribute summoned there and got the special animation. But that's boring. Good game. Alright, here we are going first once again. And this time I actually chose to go first. So here we are going to discard and get immediately ashed. Okay, not really a whole lot that I can do about that. My opponent is then also going to activate Chandelier. Pitching lovely. Well, and out comes Lady. Alright. It's looking pretty good for my opponent, I'm not gonna lie. However, let's just hold on to that. We're gonna go White Stone of Ancients, we're gonna grab up the Blue Eyes. We're gonna go for the 1-for-1. Pitching Blue Eyes, obviously, and summon out the White Stone of Ancients in order to go for Link Karibo. That's it. That's all that we're doing. In the end phase, this is why we play Dragon Spirit of White. So, in the end phase, we get to go Dragon Spirit of White to banish that back row. Fantastic! Now it's just gone. They don't have anything. Awesome. They're going to attempt to go to battle. Obviously, I'm going to activate my own Link Karibo. And then they're not going to attack, and they're going to pass the turn. Now, this may seem pretty bad, but honestly, even from this point, it's still pretty decent. Why? Because we get to go White Stone of the Ancients in order to add back the Blue Eyes from our grave to our hand, and then we have the Dragon Spirit of White to either chain block, something like this, or we could even just special summon it and then walk over the Lady if we wanted to. So there are still options available to us. But I drew probably the best card it could have been. I'm going to start off with that same play that I just talked about. So we're going to add it back this card to our hand. And we want basically as much as we can to chain block a Lady. So that's exactly why I have kept the Dragon Spirit of White on the field and gotten the Blue Eyes into my hand. If you don't know, this card has an effect where it's treated as a normal monster while in hand or grave. But then when it's summoned, it banishes a spell trap the opponent controls. However, if your opponent controls a monster, you contribute this card to special summon a Blue Eyes from your hand. So as long as they have that monster, I have this quick effect now, which means I can chain block, which is exactly what we want, and now we can go for this effect. We now go for Sage because we drew it off of the draw to. We then go for Melody, grab up the alternative. I also grab up the Levianeer, and now we can go for the reveal, special summon out the alternative. I'm going to maxi on the activation of the Welcome Labyrinth. Obviously, I could have also activated my, what is it? The Dragon Spirit of White. They summon out another Lady. That's fine. We're going to pop the first one, and then we are going to special summon out the Levianeer and pop the second one with a 2 lights and a dark. And at that point, my opponent concedes, realizing that the game is over. Yeah, I could have made a rank 8. I actually didn't have lethal damage there, but I could have made like a rank 8. I could have made a level 9 synchro, like Dragon Spirit of White, or not Dragon Spirit, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, or something like that. So definitely ball is in my court. So there you go. Good game. All right, we're back with the deck, and honestly, the only reason I'm playing this is to play this card. This card is fantastic. I love this artwork, and it makes me feel like a nostalgic little child. It just brings happiness to my face, and I appreciate it a ton. This is genuinely one of my favorite card artworks, and just being able to play it is super nice. I'm so glad that this card artwork is in the game, and I can stare at it now. It's very nice. But all in all, I still think that this deck is fine. I've never really thought that it was great, and I still don't believe that it is. It's kind of almost half Dragon Link at this point. But, I don't know. Being able to activate Melody of the Awakening Dragon is fantastic. It's such a powerful card. Being able to search out things like the Chaos Dragon Levianeer or like Jet Dragon or what have you. Also, Jet Dragon is just a powerhouse. It's so crazy how good this card is. Being able to just like bounce cards, being able to give protection to your monsters, etc., etc. Especially the bounce effect is crazy. But also just like having an ability to special summon itself is super nice in such a slow archetype. Red Eye's Black Meteor Dragon is a surprisingly good card in this archetype as well. I know I'm only playing 2 of a whole bunch of these cards, but again, they're kind of bricks. So, yeah. But this card is absolutely insane. Being able to just special summon it for free, basically, is so good. It's actually even more advantageous to send something like a Blue Eyes to the graveyard as well. And then, yeah, it's, you know, Dragon Link, level 10 monsters, stuff like that. It's pretty good. That's it for today's episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.